Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and with pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. I welcome all of you to Bhakti Sanga Japa conference call mid-morning session on Sri Chaitanya Bhagavad. Please accept my humble obeisances. Mancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Before proceeding on to our mid-morning session, I would like to know who all have joined the call today.
Hare Krishna Darshini, please accept my humble obeisances. Shashra Prabhupada, this is Priti Vilasni Devidasi from Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you for your warm welcoming and thank you for everything. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasini Mataji, and with pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to your services. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association to us today. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, so glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharajas and all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Kirtida Sundari Dasi.
Hare Krishna, Kirtida Sundari Mataji, Dandvat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to your services. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association to us. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Darshini Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. This is Sushmita from Canada. And thank you, Priti Vilasini Mataji, for the beautiful recitation of chapter 16, Bhagavad Gita. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Darshini Mataji, Dandut Pranams to you, Dandut Pranams to all Vaishnavas here. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Sumi from Jersey City.
Hare Krishna, Sushmita Mataji, and with pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to your services. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association to us. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna, Sumi Mataji, and with pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining us so regularly and giving your association to us. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Neetu from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Neetu Mataji, and with pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call every day and giving your association to us. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
It's a e-stop, we didn't find. Yeah, that light's flashing over there.
Hare Krishna Darshini Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj and Gauranga, and all glories to all the assembled devotees on the call. This is Harita from Missouri City, Texas. Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Harita Mataji, and with pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association to us. Welcome to the call. All glories to your services. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. If no one else wants to introduce themselves, I'll go ahead with reading Srila Prabhupada's quote for today. Because you have given your life to Krishna, you are already perfect. Because you have given your life to Krishna, you are already perfect. But it is just like the ocean. If you are swimming in it, you may swim forever and not reach the shore. Similarly, there is no limit to the perfection of Krishna consciousness. Letter to Abhirama, November 19th, 1971. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace RamaGiridhari Prabhu to enlighten us on the topic of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavad, Madhya Khanda, chapter 18, verses 1 to 9 on Bhakti Sanga Japa conference mid-morning call session. Prabhuji there in the call.
You have to wait.
Okay, we'll chant till then.
Yeah, let me see whether it went. I mean, like I remember sending him the poster also, but fortunately or unfortunately, for some reason, he has not read my messages. This week is kind of funny. Okay.
No
Kirtida,
problem. You can give today.
you are there, right? I was just about to ask you there, right? The message has delivered, but no blue tick. So I am thinking he's not read it. Let's wait and see.
Call him in the meantime.
Really? Right away? Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. I'll call him. Because he's very regular, right? And even if we forget, he will not forget. So, okay, I'll call him.
Preeti Vilasni Mataji, you'll be giving the class today.
Ramgiridhari Prabhu is coming. He's just a minute away. He'll be joining now.
Okay, okay, Mataji. Okay, thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandit Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. We're very grateful and fortunate to have you on the call to enlighten us on the topic of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavad, Madhya Khanda, chapter 18, verses 1 to 9. I hand over the call to you now, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sorry that I got a bit late. Please excuse me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. So we are discussing from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata, and this is Chaitanya Bhagavata Madhya Khanda, chapter 18. So we are beginning the chapter today. Chapter 18, text from 1 through 9. So we will chant the verses and then go over the discussions and the points. Just give me a second. This is the chapter by title Mahaprabhu's Dancing as Gopi, chapter 18, Madhya Khanda. Text 1. Jaya Jaya Jagata Mangala Gaura Chandra Dana Deha Hridaya Tomara Pada Dvandva. All glories to Gaura Chandra, the benefactor of the entire universe. O Lord, please place your lotus feet within my heart. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Swarupera Pranam. Jaya Jaya Bhakta Vatsala Guna Dhama. All glories to the life and soul of Nityananda Swarupa. All glories to the Lord, who is affectionate to his devotees and who is the abode of all good qualities. Bhakta Goshti Sahita Gauranga Jaya Jaya. Sunile Chaitanya Kata Bhakti Labhyahaya. All glories to Gauranga with his devotees. By hearing topics about Lord Chaitanya, one attains devotional service. Text 4. Henamate Navadvipe Vishwambararayam Sankirtana Rasa Prabhukara Yesadhayam. In this way, Lord Vishwambara constantly remained absorbed in the mellows of Sankirtana while residing in Navadvipa. Text 5. Madhya Khanda Katha Bhai Suna Eka Mane Lakshmi Kache Prabhu Nritya Kari Laya Mane. Oh brother, please hear with fixed mind the topics of the Madhya Khanda, which describes how the Lord danced in the dress of Lakshmi. Text 6. Ekadina Prabhu Bali Lena Sabastane Aji Nritya Kari Bhana Ankera Vidhane. One day the Lord informed everyone, today we will perform a drama according to prescribed rules. Text 7. Sada Shiva Buddhimanta Kanera Dhakiyam Bali Lena Prabhu Kacha Sajakara Ghiya. The Lord called Sadashiva and Buddhimanta and told them, arrange for some costumes. Text 8. Shanka Kanchuli Pada Shadi Alankaram Yoga Yoga Kari Sajakara Sabhakaram. Collect conch shells, body size silk saris, and ornaments suitable for all the participants. Text 9. Gadadhara Kachibena Rukmini Rakacha Brahmananda Tara Buddhi Saki Suprabhata. Gadadhara will dress as Rukmini and Brahmananda will be her elderly female companion named Suprabha. So we will discuss till this verse today. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Menam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are opening up a new topic, new chapter from Madhya Khanda today. The chapter where Mahaprabhu's dancing as a gopi. It is in Vaishnava practices as a part of preaching and enhancing the devotional sentiments since time immemorial. This culture of performing dance, drama, and expression of devotional acts through some art had been very consistent. The purpose of the whole act of such drama is to help humble, simple, poor, as well as non-educated people also to easily relate with whatever that are said in the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. When such expression of sentiments, the performer, the organizer, the audience, and those who are discussing these topics all get benefited. In the Vedic literature, there is one section called Itihasa and one section called Purana. These two sections significantly have storyline, and these storyline are either something has happened which was related to somebody, or it is about the discussion of a pastime that somebody is witnessing and narrating for the benefit of larger audience. But as I said, this form of art to express one's devotion is not only the obvious, but also an enjoyable subject matter. Any day, if we have to hear Krishna Katha versus Krishna Siddhanta, a devotee chooses to hear Krishna Katha. Not that Krishna Siddhanta are any less than Krishna Katha, but it is about the mellow, the rasa, and the transcendental nature of the Katha is such that it directly melts the heart. There is also another side to this. If someone who is an amateur, if someone who is not conversant with the science of Krishna consciousness, when they witness the Leela or such drama, they tend to misconstrue and completely go bonkers or completely go tangential in their understanding. So that is why whenever such Leela, whenever such enactment of drama or performances are done, there is always a disclaimer associated with them. The disclaimer is that only those who are very much interested, involved, and convinced about the supremacy of the Lord and have developed some attachment for the Lord, they can definitely be party to this witness. For those who are Kanishta, for those who are junior in their devotional journey, it is better that they assimilate, understand the basics of devotional life before they are exposed to these subject matters. That is why Chaitanya Charitamrita is treated as the postgraduate study in devotional life, where a person who has already learned and been part of the Vaishnava tradition, they can get involved in all this transcendental rasa. In verse number 4 or verse number 5, Vrindavan Das Thakura is saying, "O brother with fixed mind." That is my first reflection. Fixed mind. Please hear the topic of Madhya Khanda. So should we all, take a poll on how much our mind is fixed and then decide, should we hear this or not? The underlying message before saying that statement is that if you are not having a fixed mind, if you are not yet there, but if you are interested in there, please see to that a person with fixed mind is relaying this to you. So in the science of Krishna consciousness, we are welcome to participate in hearing Krishna Katha. We are advised to hear Krishna Katha according to our surrender. We are supposed to be intelligent enough to be in the company of self-realized soul when we are going to hear such Krishna Kathas, which are esoteric in nature, as well as which are beyond my understanding and surrender in Krishna consciousness. If we carefully analyze Srila Prabhupada's purports, Srila Prabhupada's lectures, Srila Prabhupada's conversations, by and large, Srila Prabhupada was very careful not to expose the esoteric as well as very emotional, deep emotional side of Krishna consciousness in general. He has been very careful to help us raise up to the platform of being fixed in our mind. What is that in fixed mind that can handle this? Srila Prabhupada writes in one of the purports of 4th canto Srimad Bhagavatam. I would like to read a portion from 4th canto Srimad Bhagavatam. This is from 4th canto, where Daksha's head is being chopped off. 4th canto, 7th chapter, text number 6. Sorry, text number 5. Srila Prabhupada is giving a very interesting scientific fact. I will just read a portion from this purport. It appears from the exchange of Daksha's head that the modern scientific theory that the brain substance is the cause of all intelligent work is not valid. Fast forwarding, the real intelligence, mind, and consciousness are part of the particular individual soul. I read it again. The real intelligence, mind, and consciousness are part of the particular individual soul. It will be found in the verses ahead that after Daksha's head was replaced by the goat's head, he was as intelligent as he had previously been. He prayed very nicely to satisfy Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu, which is not possible for a goat to do. Therefore, it is definitely concluded that the brain substance is not the center of intelligence. It is the consciousness of a particular soul that works intelligently. The whole movement of Krishna consciousness is to purify the consciousness. It doesn't matter what kind of brain one has, because if he simply transfers his consciousness from matter to Krishna, his life becomes successful. It is confirmed by the Lord himself in Bhagavad Gita that anyone who takes up Krishna consciousness achieves the highest perfection of life, regardless of whatever abominable condition of life he may have fallen into. Specifically, anyone in Krishna consciousness goes back to Godhead, back to home on leaving his present material body. So Srila Prabhupada very clearly says the real intelligence, mind, and consciousness are a part of the particular individual soul. So it is definitely concluded that the brain substance is not the center of intelligence, it's consciousness of a particular soul that works intelligently. So all through our devotional life, one need to be very clear and confident and understand that in our Krishna consciousness journey, skills are definitely important only after devotion, emotion, and sentiments are in place. In the sense that if somebody's skills are developed nicely, if somebody is skillful both materially as well as apparent by whatever form of art and craft, one need to be supporting that, or in terms of supersede that skills with one's devotional sentiments and devotional consciousness. So my first reflection is our Krishna consciousness journey. When we have interest in progressing in Krishna consciousness, such subject matters are definitely transcendental. They are definitely glorious. They are definitely needed, so long as we are either prepared or we are accompanied by those who are prepared, and we have a larger interest of trying to wind up these worldly activities to eventually serve Krishna. Then this entire science and these conversations will make sense. Otherwise, as I said in the introduction, we will hear them but draw our own conclusion and completely go off the track and make a mess out of the whole thing. As Srila Prabhupada wants, many scholars and philosophers, because of their vested agenda, because of their poor fund of knowledge, they tend to misguide people. So this is my first reflection. So these subject matters that we are dealing with, when we are cautioned, the caution is that fixed mind in us, which means we are supposed to be free from any amount of self-centered interest in our self-glorification, in the sense that I am self-centered for projecting myself or my personal happiness over anything else. Then our mind is not fixed. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. When Arjuna is saying that my mind is wavering, I was discussing in our course on Thursday. So what makes our mind wavering? What forces us to commit sins? Arjuna is asking this question to Krishna. Arjuna is asking Krishna, my dear Krishna, please tell me, as if someone is forcing me. If I am right, it's from Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, 35th or 36th shloka. Arjuna is saying, my dear Krishna, as if someone is forcing me, I am committing sinful activities. What makes it? Who does it? Krishna says, in the context, if you analyze, it is lust. The reason this fixed mind warning statement is being said by Vrindavan Thakur is that if you are lusty, if you are greedy, if you are envious, these subject matters, you are going to make a mess out of it. And we have proof. Proof is personalities like Poundraka. Proof is the so-called modern day sadhus in the garb of a sadhu trying for sense gratification. The proof is Bhakti Vinod Thakur's tour only in Gauda Desha. And he came up with 13 Apasampradayis who are in the dress of a devotee trying to make a mistake. So to conclude my first reflection, I want to say 4 points as a part of my first reflection. Number one, that these transcendental topic need fixed mind. Fixed mind means that either I am not self-centered or I am in the company of those who are not self-centered. Point number 3, with respect to these being in the fixed mind, for us to hear Krishna Katha, it confirms one's consciousness, one's intelligence needs to be purified by Krishna conscious before acquiring skills. Because without proper consciousness and before proper emotions, our skills will be directly contributing against the cause. And the fourth aspect of it is when Vrindavan Das Thakura is encouraging us, he is also subtly warning us that please beware of the negative effects if prerequisites are not fulfilled. In the sense that there are people who can misguide you, who can take you off track, so beware. These are all my first set of reflections, 4 points. Second, it is to be noted, as Srila Prabhupada always say, that as a preacher, as a person interested in delivering fallen souls, we have to be innovative. We have to be, very, very thoughtful and non-monotonous. That is why the phrase of utility is the principle is very relevant over here. When Srila Prabhupada says utility is the principle, Srila Prabhupada is very, very particular to state that if we are blessed with some sort of a skill or an art, how can we utilize them for Krishna's service? If we are blessed with drawing, singing, administration, drama, poetry, any kind of such art and craft or any kind of a special skills, they have to be understood that they are meant for glorifying Krishna. So our second reflection here to say that utility is the principle, and what it means to say is any time, any specific art and craft. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj writes in the commentary for verse number 6. I will just read a portion of that commentary. It is important for us to note that Acharyas are very merciful whenever they are describing these kind of verses. They are giving some additional information. The Sahitya Darpana, chapter 6, text 7, explains the word Anka refers to one of the 10 types of theatrical performances. Because the verse says, Ekadina Prabhu Balilena Sabastane Aji Nritya Karibana Ankera Vidhare. Each scene of a drama is called an Anka. In each Anka, the hero must be directly or indirectly featured so that the mood and mellows will manifest. The dialogue should be concise and easily understood, and the passages should not include many compound words. Irrelevant subjects should be completed within one Anka. Although irrelevant subjects should be completed within one Anka, the topics related with the principal subject should be present in each Anka and should continue till the final Anka. When the principal subject will be concluded, many themes should not be described in one Anka. So, Srila Prabhupada is explaining, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj is explaining that how this whole theatrical performance, because Mahaprabhu is now going to get into that act. So Ankera Vidane means according to the rules prescribed for an Anka. So my second reflection again has got 3 points. Number 1, utility is the principle. Number 2, that when we are trying to access to the Prachin or the old philosophies or old 200 years, 300 years old, our modern day people either way will demean them or disrespect them or sometimes don't value them. But when we just read one small word Anka or how that particular theatrical performances have been done, it has got a science underneath. So what skills are what that we are seeing in the current modern day scenario, it is only the chilka, as they say, it is only the husk without the actual ingredient. If the ingredient is there, then there is an essence. If somebody remove the ingredient and present only the husk, and they distort them according to their own whims and fancies, and if they are trying to utilize them for personal self-aggrandization, then as Bhagavad Gita explains in 2nd canto, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsan Sangat Teju Bajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kama Kama Lobha Vijayate. So Krishna explains that because of Kama, because of these senses being dragged towards lusty things, as I mentioned in the previous point also, that people may tend to remove the masala, remove the core essence, and use the husk and try to, create a big scene out of it. Rather, if you go back to our Srimad Bhagavatam or Vedic literature, we see this theatrical performance were done by Krishna, were done by Nityananda Prabhu, were done by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, were done by Srila Prabhupada as a part of the preaching. I very vividly remember when we came to Mumbai, 1999, we had a devotee by name Mahamani Prabhu as a temple president, or he was in charge of some projects in Radha Ras Bihari temple. So he used to conduct Bhagavad Gita class on Sundays, and he used to demand that when we are trying to conduct a class, let us try to enact some small skits so that all the participants, they are all engaged and they are all educated, so that intellectual, children, mothers, poor, illiterate, literate, as well as it's a wholesome package. So Srila Prabhupada writes in one of the chapters in Krishna book, when Krishna went to Sandipani Muni's ashram, Krishna learned 64 kala, 64 performances of arts. And one of them is sound engineering. One of them is theatrical. One of them is about different forms of art, playing musical instruments, producing different types of sounds. So these theatrical performances are a very powerful media, or a very powerful medium through which. So my second point with respect to this utility is the principle is that it is not done haphazardly. This is also a science. So it is part of our Vaishnava tradition and Vaishnava culture. So as we are trying to revive our Krishna consciousness, as we are trying to revive, and establish Daiva Varnashrama, we can definitely include these forms of arts and culture to be used for presenting Krishna consciousness. Look at how Prabhupada did. he did one side, he wanted to have scientists to be brought into Krishna consciousness. And on the other side, he wanted to use the art, craft, drama, culture to be brought into Krishna consciousness so that all sections of the society come closer to Krishna consciousness. So it is important that as practicing devotees, we try to explore more avenues to create Krishna consciousness relevant, relatable, and it is bona fide. So that is my third point with respect to our utility is the principle. So if somebody just do the sake of doing it, because nowadays when people are very much fond of Instagram, social media, trying to create on all of those things, it is very wonderful that these intelligentsias and these creative brains are utilized for preaching. But a strong warning is, please, when we are engaging in such a service, don't get carried away by the technology. Don't get carried away by the illusions around the technology. Don't get carried away by the forms of art and craft. But please make sure that they are utilized for Krishna. So that is why I said the word husk and the grain. So the grain is the essence. If you do not have the grain, you will be dealing with husk. So sometimes we see devotees, they proclaim, they think that they are very good singing, they are very good drama act, they are performing in so many things. This should be appreciated only when they are properly dovetailed in Krishna's service. So my second reflection is, utility is the principles, and every form of art and culture, it is not some Manvar Kahani, it is not some sort of somebody's whims and fancies. It is a science. If it is properly done, if it is properly delivered, they are Krishna's resources, they are Krishna's vibhuti. And last but not least, in that second reflection, I want to say that we need to make it relevant, relatable, and as bona fide as we can. I very clearly remember in the year 1996, it was Srila Prabhupada's centennial year. So we celebrated in Srirangam. I was there in Srirangam at that time. I was part of the Srirangam congregation. I was in my grade 11, or no, not 11. I was in my second year of my engineering. I finished my 12th grade in 95. I was in my first year of engineering. On Srila Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja day, during that time, we had introduced a very wonderful form of art and culture in Tamil Nadu. It is called Villupattu. Villupattu means it is a kind of a age-old tradition where people in a specific way, in a specific meter, in a specific queue, in a specific arrangement. It is a kind of a lecture, but more of a dialogue. So there will be a lead person who used to sing, and there will be somebody who is to cue them by asking some questions to make it as a conversational. So it is a conversation, come singing, come dialogue to narrate. It was such a big hit. There used to be a person, if anybody is from Tamil Nadu, there is a person by name Subbu Arumugam. That's the name of the person who was a famous Villupattu. Villupattu is a traditional, like how every if you go to Spanish, they have a cultural thing. If you go to Manipur, or His Holiness Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj, he has used Manipur dance. So whenever he traveled anywhere, everywhere around the world, he used to talk about the culture of Manipur tradition. And they perform in the form of art and dance. They perform Ras Leela. So every time, when there is a big event, Maharaj used to organize that. In fact, he traveled around the globe and took this Manipur dance to even US and various parts of the world. So the idea is that, and once in 1997, 96, We also did, there was one proper disciple by name Atma Tattva Prabhu. I'm not sure how many of you know them. So this Atma Tattva Prabhu, he performed, there's one more tradition, one more way of performance is called Katha Kalakshepam, which means the story narrator, the person who is narrating the story or somebody who is presenting the lecture, he will also do it in that is another tradition. So there is a science. So our Vedic literature has got one particular section. In fact, the entire Sama Veda is having all those nuances and descriptions of presenting the whole Vedic science, Vedic subject matter in the form of music, in the form of art, in the form of some cultural representation. So it will be very nice if we revive them and try to link them to Krishna consciousness. The reason it is done is because people, those who are conditioned, they will immediately get attracted. Because of course, Krishna consciousness is beyond all these things. But when I am conditioned, suppose I give a class in Maharashtra state. If I try to tell about Tukaram Maharaj, if I'm trying to talk about Abhang, if I'm trying to refer about certain thing about the saints over here, so everybody will come and say, oh yeah, he's talking something about me. Suppose I give a lecture to a group of people in Maharashtra about something happened in Shakespeare and something happened in Japan, something happened in other places. They may hear them, but the kind of impact which otherwise I would have been able to create, I would have not created. If you very closely analyze, the Lord has come and performed his pastimes, or he has sent his special devotees in every tradition around the world. You name a tradition, there will be a saint, a role model, or an avatar, or the Supreme Lord would have come. The Lord would have decided, oh, hey, I will only talk Deva Bhasha. I will only talk Sanskrit. I will perform all my pastimes only in Sanskrit. And I am a Sanskrit person and everybody learn around the world. He came as Jesus Christ. I mean, he sent his devotee as Jesus Christ to help some, set of people. Take India. Every state has got a saint. And every saint, they try to preach in a local language, with a local tradition, with a local dialect, with a local, literature, but presenting the transcendental science. So that's why it's utility is the principle. The third and the last reflection with this current context, we'll come to the actual, agenda, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is intending to do. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by him calling Advaitacharya, Buddhimanta Khan, or everybody else to prepare for the drama, he wants to transport himself to that zone. Krishna as Gopi, Krishna as Srimati Radharani. He is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we know that. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, during his manifested Leela, he has done this, role play many times. Role play in his conscious, sense, he has done by speaking about it. Role play in terms of expressing some sentimental bodily expressions when he is dealing with serious practitioners, and role play of assuming the role and trying to reveal to the whole world that he is that person for showing and establishing. He has performed some esoteric pastime amongst his confidential associates. I will tell about all the three. When the Lord was preaching to everyone, when he is trying to preach to the ignorant, innocent, serious, and when he was traveling everywhere, he just inspired everyone to take up chanting, and during that chanting, he kind of blessed them, enabled them to participate in Krishna consciousness. So he did not try to show his esoteric side to them. He just gave advice, he just preached, he just enabled, he engaged everyone for chanting the holy name of the Lord. But what happened in front of King Prataparudra? The same Lord who was very sorted, very organized, very structured, very much interested in cultivating everyone, he kind of expressed his emotional side of devotional life, which he did not reveal to many people. And Prataparudra was a practicing devotee, slowly getting himself involved into the science of Krishna consciousness. So the Lord revealed his emotional side of it. That is why you don't cry, you don't see Prabhupada crying in every lecture. Don't you think Prabhupada will feel emotional when he speaks about Krishna? If Sukadeva Goswami couldn't speak about Srimati Radharani, otherwise Srimad Bhagavatam couldn't be narrated, what to speak of Srila Prabhupada, who is a bona fide representative of Sukadeva Goswami? For this, Prabhupada is giving an answer in Nectar of Instruction. How a devotee deals with Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama. The Uttamadhikari, completely understanding his responsibility for preaching, steps down to Madhyama level, which means he differentiates. This is innocent, ignorant, arrogant, and sincere practitioner, and accordingly, reciprocate with them. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, towards practicing devotee, example being Prataparudra, when Prataparudra massaged Mahaprabhu's lotus feet in Gundicha temple, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave a tight hug and said, I will give you everything that you asked for. When Mahaprabhu was in his transcendental, mood, when he transformed himself into Gopi Bhava, when he is trying to emulate the consciousness and mood of gopis, he behaved in so many esoteric manner, and those were all done for his confidential devotees. Those were all done maybe publicly, but they were done for his confidential devotees. They were all meant for his confidential servants to understand that this personality is not an ordinary personality. That is why it is explained in one of these shlokas in the translation that we just read today. I think this is verse number 3. All glories to Lord Gauranga with his devotees. By hearing topics about Lord Chaitanya, one attains devotional service. Which means if you hear about his preaching, about his emotions, about his, Gopi Bhava, all the three, but depends upon where you are able to connect yourself, stay there. I will state this and end my, third reflection. My counselor or one of the early day mentors, he did very clearly warn me that in your journey of Krishna consciousness, there are so many things that we can chew, so many things that we can digest, so many things that we may have to learn. He said, make sure that what you, read, what you hear, what you associate, what kind of services you perform, how close you are going to someone, may it be proportionate towards surrender. Or may it be in consultation or in company with someone who can present them to you. Otherwise, it may have an opposite effect in the person who is receiving. Not because of the nature of that subject matter, it is because of the weakness of the person who receives it. So my third reflection is that Mahaprabhu's agenda of going to perform this Leela is him enjoy, give enjoyment, and make sure that everyone is involved, engaged in this Leela. So that it is not only going to give happiness to those people who are participating, it is going to help all of us in 2024 also to to read, hear, and develop some sort of a loving attachment to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is my third reflection, to say that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has very categorically exhibited certain pastimes, especially this particular chapter when Mahaprabhu is going to perform some drama, going to perform some theater, going to perform some sort of what do you call devotional engaging activity. So we are very fortunate that we are able to correlate, we are able to enjoy, because in our own festivals, in all our Rath Yatras and things like that, we also try to inherit these ideas and try to perform them for the pleasure of the Lord. So Mahaprabhu's agenda is to give pleasure, give education, as well as enjoy in the mood of being a gopi, to communicate. You will all see in the subsequent chapter when Mahaprabhu is dressed himself as a gopi, how he transforms himself and how his conversation, talks, words, cry, everything is so real that even the people who are audience to that, they won't be able to make a difference if he is just playing the role or if he's got into it. So with this note, I would like to stop here and just summarize. We had discussed about 3 sets of reflections. Before that, we had a small introduction statement saying that in our Krishna consciousness journey, it is to be understood that we need to try to utilize our intelligence. We need to try to utilize our devotional acumen to make Krishna consciousness engaging, exciting, and definitely relevant for all the all the stakeholders. So we had 3 sets of reflection. The first reflection is about discussing the point about Vrindavan Das Thakura's statement of all those who have fixed mind, oh brothers with fixed mind, please hear Madhya Khanda attentively. So we broke that statement into 4 parts. Number 1, being fixed mind is a prerequisite for us to participate in these types of topics. And when we talk about fixed mind, if you are not having a proper fixed mind, then we are supposed to be hearing these subject matters in the company of self-realized soul, in the company of those who are having their consciousness fixed. And the third is that it is important that one need to cultivate one's consciousness, Krishna consciousness, before acquiring skills. I read from the purport 475 that Srila Prabhupada says that brain is not our core agenda, because it is mind, heart, individual soul. And that is why our intention is to somehow make sure that our heart is purified, our intelligence is, and our mind is purified, and brain is supporting or trying to execute the functions of based on the directions of the someone's heart. That is, they say in close relationship, you think from your heart, not think from your brain, which means Prabhupada is trying to say that by someone who may have any type of material skills, so long as his consciousness is not clean, we have a problem. And the fourth aspect of the first reflection is beware of a negative representation of this art, craft, and stuffs like that. So if we are not having fixed minds, then there are so many people who are in the garb of a sadhu may try to detract or distract someone. Second reflection is about utility is the principle. And utility is the principle is something that we have heard time and again, But here it is, shown how even the craft, the art, the theaters, and the performance of drama can also be utilized for preaching. As our modern day technologies have developed, we can encourage all of them to be utilized in the service of the Lord, provided we are able to make it relevant, relatable, and bona fide, and we don't become victim of them. So, third reflection is when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was performing these types of, dramas or these types of pastimes, he has a larger agenda, and one of them is including all of us or the generations to come to take advantage of these pastimes. Of course, Mahaprabhu reciprocated with the juniors, ignorants, innocents in one particular way by controlling his emotions, by directly giving them advices. With sadhakas, he was expressing his emotions, but not went to esoteric. But when he was performing his pastime, playing the role play, assuming the role of a gopi, or even trying to emote the role of a gopi, he was definitely teaching, giving excitement to his confidential servants. So there are many more wonderful lessons that you will be learning in this chapter. But with whatever limited intelligence and understanding I had, I was trying to reflect upon and share with you all. Please correct me if I'm wrong or anything that I can improve upon. Otherwise, we'll end here and take up any questions, comments, reflections. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Chaitanya Bhagavad ki jai, Pitai Gaura Premanande, Hare Hare Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for such a wonderful class. I like many points that you said, and it was actually very nice. When initially we're talking about intelligence, and you picked that purport of Srila Prabhupada about that says that intelligence is not limited to the brain, and he gives the example of how Daksha offers prayer. So it's a matter of consciousness. That was very interesting, Prabhu. Thank you so much for bringing that up. And then the analogy of the rice and husk. What is the use of just giving the husk without the rice? So we should not forget the core message or the core principles. We should not alter that. About the local culture and tradition, preaching in the local culture and tradition is more relatable, which is very true. And very nicely, you gave the example of Shakespeare versus a local adhang. That was interesting, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Yeah, these are so important to connect with people according to their local culture. And finally, about also how you said that that's why the Lord has sent different saints all around the world. That way, the message can be relayed to everybody, depending on the capacity, how they want to absorb it. So thank you so much, Prabhu. Very interesting class. Thank you for coming on the call, and very thought-provoking. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah. So you have time for questions.
So it's really a senior user group that we're putting together to
anyone has questions, comments, realizations, please go ahead.
To the actual indexes. Use the example of what we've done.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Sarvadis Srila Prabhupada. Definitely, most of the points Priti Vilasni Mataji has mentioned. And class was really nice, Prabhu, the way you churned these verses and brought so many reflections from them. And especially, the very first thing that you mentioned that really struck me, that if our consciousness is not pure, then we cannot take such pastimes, or we cannot really understand the real purport of these pastimes. Instead of our heart getting purified, if we are ourselves not into it, then it will bring more of lusty thoughts. So, yes, Prabhuji, but I would like to ask you, like, if somebody who's very new and go ahead and read these kind of verses and these kinds of pastimes, then they can also equate us to Sahijyas.
Yeah. In fact, I was going to make a
Yeah.
point on Sahajya point.
Hmm.
A very, thankfully you brought it up. In fact, we have lost. I would use the word lost, because we have not lost so many devotees because of such mistakes. I didn't want to touch that because it may sound a little controversial. First of all, an important confession I want to make. This is not to get any appreciation for me. I swear in the name of God, I did not even know what verse I was going to give a class today till I just logged in. Of course, Preeti Vilasini Mataji sent me the link a couple of days before, but I was so busy. Whatever I spoke, it is not because I wanted to respond to Preeti Vilasini Mataji also, that she appreciated. Whatever I spoke, just praying to Krishna and praying to all my seniors that please don't make me a joker, clown today, because I didn't have any clue of what I was going to speak, and I just opened, and when I was reading through the slokas, what will I chant, how I'm going to chant, what I'm supposed to chant, then I was praying to Krishna. So the point I'm trying to say is that somehow, if there is, please don't get me wrong, this is not to rate me anywhere here. If we have some genuinity, I guess we immediately get reciprocation. So whatever I spoke, any credit are there, I cannot take even 1% of them. It all goes to the parampara. But at the same time, when we are not going to be careful and genuine in the same journey that we are doing, we will slip. So the Sahajya, or even Jayapatak Maharaj once gave a class. Whenever he comes to Vrindavan, he gives some, whenever he was in his good old days with all his, charm, and even now is the great same personality, but because of his, different leela that he is performing. One class I heard of him in Vrindavan where he was trying to because in Vrindavan we get to see many such people who are dressed like gopis themselves, who have peacock feather, who roam around. Many of my godbrothers have done that.
Yeah.
So he used to feel so sorry, saying that, what are you guys up to? He says that this is not what Srila Prabhupada, came to give us. And you cannot try to, get into the, gopi bhava, or you can say, you assume your Swarupa, oh, I am Tulasi's Manjarin. You assume your own some nonsense things. And Jayapatak Maharaj said that such devotees, after a point in time, they give up Krishna consciousness and they go and work in petrol pump. 15 days before, he was a gopi, dressed like a gopi, running around. Suddenly he blew and he went and do some Shudra job. So let us not do that. That's the point I was trying to drive home, that we need to be very careful. So thank you, Kirtana, that you brought that. So to answer you, what to do when a new person does it? So it is our duty to articulate and help such new people. It is like when a person try to access some literature which is beyond his comprehension, or any science or technology, somebody intervenes or somebody tries to facilitate, and that is why we are supposed to definitely facilitate them. And Prabhupada time and again wants, please read Bhagavad Gita first, then Bhagavatam next, then Chaitanya Charitamrita, then all the literature. Having said that, getting them to a class, getting them in the company of someone is okay. At least you can go back and articulate for them, narrate them for them. But at least we should not encourage somebody. We should not gift. Sometimes we get to see devotees gifting, some sort of an esoteric book, Ujjwala Nilamani, or Vidagdha Madhava, or Lalita Madhava, gift to someone who has just come to Krishna consciousness because they found it exciting. So those are all things that we can try to kind of check ourselves. So we have to go back to our basics. In fact, I would even say, with all sincerity, all the practicing devotees should have enough heard Srila Prabhupada's lectures, read Srila Prabhupada's books before even studying and reading all the other books and lectures. I'm not saying that all the books are other books and lectures are nowhere less important. I'm saying they are equally important. They are very nice. They have but all of them, they are reflecting on what Srila Prabhupada said. So at some point in time, as Srila Prabhupada being our eternal Siksha Guru, we need to encourage everyone to have. That is why in my earlier days in Krishna consciousness, we had the culture of everyday morning cooking during our brahmachari ashram days. We used to have Prabhupada lecture, without which we will not be in the kitchen. So Srila Prabhupada lecture, 1 week. So repeatedly we keep hearing them. So at least you get the mood, essence, so that you can set the narrative as a preacher. Otherwise, you will, you'll also have peacock feather and make somebody else like a, a cock or a hen. So that will be, too funny.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for telling that. And I would just say that all your initial days' efforts are fructifying now that you are able to give these spontaneous classes.
God, I don't know. For sure, I swear, I do not want to take today's class credit, even if that is anything good. All glories to my seniors and Prabhupada. But I was really nervous for the first 15 minutes. What will I speak? But then somehow, I spoke something. So anyway, Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Our glories to you. Our glories to you.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, so you're all in for an exciting chapter. Hope you'll chant some more nectar there. Hare Krishna. For
Very
me, this
hard,
esoteric topics are a little shaky.
Yeah.
Because I cannot correlate because I'm not in that stage. But at the same time, the service is given, so we'll do some, justice. This is one of the points is also even the speakers. This is my personal choice. Even the speakers, they may need to be, very choosy and addressing. Prabhupada was very particular. The way Srila Prabhupada balanced his lectures, no lectures, he made it esoteric. But for, I've never heard Prabhupada, speaking about some, so esoteric pastimes. But for certain, Bhaktivedanta purports of NOD, third and fourth phase, third and fourth wave, or whatever that is. Otherwise, many very straightforward things. It is important that as preachers, we try to, handhold our audience, handhold our new bhaktas or new devotees, not to make their heart vikalpa vichar lana nahi. So they should not get into some sort of a weird feeling. So they should get an inspiring, enthusiastic feeling. Anyway, thank you so much. All the best. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, like these verses, can we discuss on these forums in future verses, or are these only for our self-study?
Well, I do not know who is who in the audience, but I guess that's the point. You can take, you know what? Once Prabhupada gave a class on Radhashtami Day, and there are two episodes that happened. Once Prabhupada was in a life member's house. He was invited as a chief guest or whatever, as a lunch or some dinner. Prabhupada was called. The life member, he was just a new bhakta, sincere, serious, and he was respecting sadhus, but did not have a basic understanding in Krishna consciousness. So he said, Swamiji, will you please speak on Srimati Radharani? So Prabhupada said that, no, I cannot speak on Srimati Radharani. No, Swamiji, please, why don't you speak on Srimati Radharani? So Prabhupada said, no, I am not. Prabhupada was trying to kind of evade. That person kept on pushing Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada made a very stern statement. He said, maybe you are qualified and ready to hear about Srimati Radharani, but I am not qualified and ready to speak about her and, cut the conversation. And one more, if you read Srila Prabhupada's lecture on Radhashtami Day, you will hear the modern day Bhagavata's lecture on Radhashtami Day. They go and tell about so many confidential pastimes of Radharani. Thanks to them, wonderful to them. Maybe they are careful, but Prabhupada, in the Radhashtami lecture, he spoke about how we are not this body, spirit, soul, how this material world, and he spoke about the entire science of Krishna consciousness, and as a Jivatma, how our duty is to serve Krishna. So a preacher can use every sloka and opportunity and try to present for any audience. Hanumat Prashik Maharaj used to say this. NY can be taught to a Kanishta or a new Bhakta and made them as a devotee. NY can be taught to a Bhakti Shastri student who is supposed to be a serious learner. And NY can be taught for a Bhakti Vaibhava student in that, tone and, frequency and, depth. And it is up to us how much, deep that we want to go into. So there's nothing wrong in going through these verses. I'm sure every speaker brings in his or her own maturity. And I guess I do not know the audience, but it is always safe to understand that esoteric topics are gently handled rather than frivolously. That's all I would say.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your guidance. Okay, dear devotees, anyone else has any questions, any realizations, anything to speak? Okay, Prabhuji, thank you so much once again for the excellent session and for your guidance for the future verses. Definitely we'll take that into consideration. And so, dear devotees, thank you so much again for joining us. Now we'll pay our obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu vaivacha patitanam bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्री चैतन्य भागवत की जय, श्री भागवत की जय, प्रभु की जय।
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.